Whoa, this car needs to freaking get out of my freaking way. Alright, we're on YouTube Live. Thanks, so. Thanks, though.
Thanks, though.
Thanks, though. What time is the Iowa State game?
I don't know.
Can you Google that quick? Are you Googling that?
Today is 2:30. So they're probably not going to be done with that until like 6.
Thanks, so. I said thanks. Though.
Thanks to it is.
You should check on Facebook Marketplace for Xbox One games. You didn't do it? There's probably a million of them. And they're all $10. Where are you driving to? I'm driving home. We gotta walk the extra long, cozy dogs in the woods.
Yep.
History is cool 99. Thanks, though. The house I went to, they had some books on their bookshelf called Lesbian Brothels. It was like a manga. It was a little wild.
Cool.
And I should have grabbed a photo of it, but I think they did have a, a cum jar.
Yeah.
But like on the dining room table, just right in front of me.
Jesus.
I'm just not entirely sure, and I didn't want to ask. Like, hey, what's that jar for? Hello, Umaira. Dianova.
Well, yeah, because if you ask what the jar is for, then you've already revealed that you know what they're doing, what they're up to.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is what it is. You know, what can you do?
Yeah, so the cat's out of the bag at that point.
Yep. And the thing is of it is,
No.
the things of it is, and the cat's out of the bag.
That's the thing of it. That's the thing of it. That's the thing of it is.
Thanks though, thanks though, thanks though.
That's the thing of it is. That's the thing of it is. That is some good cheesecake.
Yep. Thanks so.
So.
So, does Greg get some cheesecake?
Yeah, everybody gets cheesecake. I put it in the fridge.
Are you gonna let the dogs out into the backyard?
You want me to?
Yep. Yeah, put them in the backyard.
Or until you get back, or what?
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm gonna lay down.
Hello, Liz. Said, hey, what's up below? Let the bodies hit the floor. 1738.
Just keep going on these rolling dogs. Yeah, that's like Willa's Teddy's here.
Yeah, I know. She's been complaining about that lately.
Just hopping along. Yeah, Jet. Good.
Do you see the hip and joint things? The hip and joint CBD gummies?
Where at?
Like the area between their two kennels. Somewhere up on a shelf or something.
Yep.
Give Willa 2 of those. The phone did fall off. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. 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 Yes, these dogs are cozy. And these dogs are cozy. Yes, these dogs are so 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 cozy. Yes, these dogs are cozy. Yes, these dogs are cozy.
Holy crap. I'm birthday.
Yes, these dogs are cozy. 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 Yes, these dogs are... Yes, the angle has changed. Thank you, Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin noticed the camera angles change. But actually, we're back on the way from work. We're going to go walk the extra long cozy dogs. And we might live broadcast that on TikTok.
Whoa, get hyped, everybody.
Think so. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy.
Hi, Greg. I'm gonna take a nap until you get here.
Alright, then I'm probably gonna listen to the autobiography of Ben Franklin.
Alright, badass dude.
Alright, I'll catch you later.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Have a blessed day, people.
Biography of Benjamin Franklin, Chapter 10. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, edited by Frank Woodward Klein. Chapter 10. Poor Richard's Almanac and Other Activities. In 1732, I first published my almanac under the name of Richard Saunders. It was continued by me about 25 years, commonly called Poor Richard's Almanac. I endeavored to make it both entertaining and useful, and it accordingly came to be in such demand that I reaped considerable profit from it, vending annually near 10,000, and observing that it was generally read, scarce any neighborhood in the province being without it. I considered it as a proper vehicle for conveying instruction among the common people who wanted scarcely any other books. I therefore filled all the little spaces that occurred between the remarkable days in the calendar with proverbial sentences, chiefly such as inculcated industry and frugality as the means of procuring wealth, and thereby securing virtue, it being more difficult for a man in want to act always honestly, as, to use here one of those proverbs, it is hard for an empty sack to stand upright. Begin footnote. The almanac at that time was a kind of periodical, as well as a guide to natural phenomena and the weather. Franklin took his title from Poor Robin, a famous English almanac, and from Richard Saunders, a well-known almanac publisher. End of footnote. These proverbs, which contained the wisdom of many ages and editions, I assume the discourse prefixed to the almanac of 1757, as the harangue of a wise old man to the people attending an auction. The bringing all these scattered counsels thus into a focus that would make a greater impression, peace being universally approved, was copied in all newspapers of the continent, reprinted in Britain on a broadside, to be struck up in houses. 2 translations were made of it in French, and great numbers bought by the clergy and gentry to distribute gratis among their poor parishioners and tenants. In Pennsylvania, as it discouraged useless expense in foreign superfluities, some thought it had its share of influence in producing that growing plenty of money which was observable for several years after its publication. I considered my newspaper also as another means of communicating instruction, and in that view frequently reprinted in it extracts from the Spectator and other moral writers, and sometimes published little pieces of my own, which had been first composed for reading in our quinto. Of these are a Socratic dialogue, tending to prove that, whatever might be his parts and abilities, a vicious man could not properly be called a man of sense, and a discourse on self-denial, showing that virtue was not secure till its practice became a habitude and was free from the opposition of contrary inclinations. These may be found in the papers about the beginning of 1735. In the conduct of my newspaper, I carefully excluded all libel and personal abuse, which is of late years become so disgraceful to our country. Whenever I was solicited to insert anything of that kind, and the writers pleaded, as they generally did, the liberty of the press, and that a newspaper was like a stagecoach in which anyone who could pay had a right to a place, my answer was that I would print the piece separately if desired, and the author might have as many copies as he pleased to distribute himself, but that I would not take upon me to spread his detraction, and that, having contracted with my subscribers to furnish them with what might be either useful or entertaining, I could not fill their papers with private altercations in which they had no concern about doing them manifest injustice. Now, many of our printers make no scruple of gratifying the malice of individuals by false accusations of the fairest characters among ourselves, augmenting animosity even to the producing of duels, and are, moreover, so indiscreet as to print scurrilous reflections on the government of neighboring states, and even on the conduct of our best national allies, which may be attended with the most pernicious consequences. These things I mention as a caution to young printers, and that they may be encouraged not to pollute their presses and disgrace their profession by such infamous practices, but refuse steadily, as they may see by my example, that such a course of conduct will not, on the whole, be injurious to their interests. In 1733, I sent one of my journeymen to Charleston, South Carolina, where a printer was wanted. I furnished him with press and letters on an agreement of partnership, by which I was to receive 1/3 of the profits of the business, paying 1/3 of the expense. He was a man of learning, and honest, but ignorant in matters of account, and though he sometimes made me remittances, I could get no account from him, nor any satisfactory state of our partnership while he lived. On his decease, the business was continued by his widow, who, being born and bred in Holland, where, as I have been informed, the knowledge of accounts makes a part of female education, she not only sent me as clear a state as she could find of the transactions past, but continued to account with the greatest regularity and exactness every quarter afterwards, and managed the business with such success that she not only brought up reputably a family of children, but at the expiration of the term was able to purchase of me the printing house and establish her son in it. I mention this affair chiefly for the sake of recommending that branch of education for our young females as likely to be of more use to them and their children in case of widowhood than either music or dancing, by preserving them from losses by imposition of crafty men, and enabling them to continue, perhaps, a profitable mercantile house with established correspondence, till a son is grown up fit to undertake and go on with it to the lasting advantage and enriching of the family. About the year 1734, there arrived among us from Ireland a young Presbyterian preacher named Hemphill, who delivered with a good voice and apparently extempore most excellent discourses, which drew together considerable numbers of different persuasions, who joined in admiring them. Among the rest, I became one of his constant hearers, his sermons pleasing me, as they had little of the dogmatical kind, but inculcated strongly the practice of virtue, or what in the religious style are called good works. Those, however, of our congregation who considered themselves as Orthodox Presbyterians disapproved his doctrine, and were joined by most of the old clergy, who arraigned him of heterodoxy before the synod, in order to have him silenced. I became his zealous partisan, and contributed all I could to raise a party in his favor, and we combated for him a while with such hopes of success. There was much scribbling pro and con upon the occasion, and finding that, though an elegant preacher, he was but a poor writer, I lent him my pen and wrote for him 2 or 3 pamphlets, and one piece in the Gazette of April, 1735. Those pamphlets, as is generally the case with controversial writings, though eagerly read at the time, were soon out of vogue, and I question whether a single copy of them now exists. During the contest, none left hurt his cause exceedingly. One of our adversaries, having heard him preach a sermon that was much admired, thought he had somewhere read the sermon before, or at least a part of it. On search, he found a part quoted at length in one of the British reviews from a discourse of Dr. Foster's. This detection gave many of our party disgust, who accordingly abandoned his cause and occasioned our more speedy discomfiture in the synod. I stuck by him, however, as I rather approved his giving us good sermons composed by others and bad ones of his own manufacture, though the latter was the practice of our common teachers. He afterward acknowledged to me that none of those he preached were his own, adding that his memory was such as enabled him to retain and repeat any sermon after one reading only. On our defeat, he left us in search elsewhere of better fortune, and I quitted the congregation, never joining it after, though I continued many years my subscription for the support of its ministers. I had begun in 1733 to study languages. I soon made myself so much a master of the French as to be able to read the books with ease. I then undertook the Italian. An acquaintance who was also learning it used often to tempt me to play chess with him. Finding this took up too much of the time I had to spare for study, I at length refused to play anymore, unless on this condition, that the victor in every game should have a right to impose a task, either in parts of the grammar to be got by heart, or in translations, etc., which tasks the vanquished was to perform upon honor before our next meeting. As we played pretty equally, we thus beat one another into that language. I afterwards, with a little painstaking, acquired as much of the Spanish as to read their books also. I have already mentioned that I had only 1 year's instruction in a Latin school, and that went very well, after which I neglected that language entirely. But when I had attained an acquaintance with the French, Italian, and Spanish, I was surprised to find, on looking over a Latin Testament, that I understood so much more of that language than I had imagined, which encouraged me to apply myself again to the study of it, and I met with more success, as those preceding languages had greatly smoothed my way. On these circumstances, I have thought that there is some inconsistency in our common mode of teaching languages. We are told that it is proper to begin first with Latin, and having acquired that, it will be more easy to attain those modern languages which are derived from it. And yet we do not begin with the Greek in order more easily to acquire the Latin. It is true that if you can clamber and get to the top of the staircase without using the steps, you will more easily gain them in descending. But certainly, if you begin with the lowest, you will more easily ascend to the top, and I would therefore offer it to the consideration of those who superintend the education of our youth, whether, since many of those who begin with the Latin quit the same after spending some years without having made any great proficiency, and what they have learned become almost useless, so that their time has been lost, and would it not have been better to have begun with the French, proceeding to the Italian, etc.? For though after spending the same time they should quit the study of languages and never arrive at the Latin, they would, however, have acquired another tongue or two, that being in modern use might be serviceable to them in the common life. Begin footnote. The authority of Franklin, the most eminently practical man of his age, in favor of reversing the study of the dead languages till the mind has reached a certain maturity, is confirmed by the confession of one of the most eminent scholars of any age. Our seminaries and learning, says Gibbon, do not exactly correspond with the precept of a Spartan camp, that the child should be instructed in the arts which will be useful to the man, since a finished scholar may emerge from the head of Westminster or Eton in total ignorance of the business and conversation of English gentlemen in the latter end of the 18th century. But these schools may assume to merit of teaching all that they pretend to teach, the Latin and Greek languages. End of footnote. After 10 years' absence from Boston, and having become easy in my circumstances, I made a journey thither to visit my relations, which I could not sooner well afford. In returning, I called at Newport to see my brother, then settled there with his printing house. Our former differences were forgotten, and our meeting was very cordial and affectionate. He was fast declining in his health, and requested of me that, in case of his death, which he apprehended not far distant, I would take home his son, then but 10 years of age, and bring him up to the printing business. This I accordingly performed, sending him a few years to school before I took him into the office. His mother carried on the business till he was grown up, when I assisted him with an assortment of new types, those of his father's being in a manner worn out. Thus it was that I made my brother ample amends for the service I had deprived him of by leaving him so early. In 1736 I lost one of my sons, a fine 4 years old, by the smallpox, taken in the common way. I long regretted bitterly, and it still
Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are cozy. Yes, these dogs are so 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 cozy. Yes, these dogs are. They are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are. Yes, these dogs are. They are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are. They are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are. Increases mutation infectivity at land transmission. Good job, team. Get ready for the next round. Yes, these dogs are. They are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are. They are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Rise to the planet of the apes. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are so cozy. Yes, these dogs are. They 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 are so cozy. Come on, feel the noise. Oh, how's it going, Danner? Don't turn on your fucking radio. Uh-oh, don't do it. Don't turn on that radio. Oh, don't leave the eggs alone. Let my people go. Mr. Gorbachev, 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 let my people go. Mr. Gorbachev,